Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so same kind of our usual routine. Okay, still warming up first. Weather's getting a little cooler, so we might actually need a little bit of a longer warm up to get ourselves ready. Okay, so as usual, let's check our posture first. Okay, see if you can bring your chest or your heart up to the ceiling a little bit more. You can think of you have a book on the top of your head, and you're just trying to push that up to the ceiling a little more. Okay, and see if you make yourself the shoulders a little bit wider as well, so not squeeze back. Okay, just wider across. Okay, and you can still swing your arms across. You can still take deep breaths in and out as well. Okay, so let's try to do this marching while we take a deep breath in, maintaining this tall, wide posture. Okay, and a deep breath out. Okay, doing the same thing. Okay, still maintaining this good posture. Okay, so let's do a little rotation. Today, let's do more of a whole body. Okay, so let's stop our feet for a second. Okay, we're just going to reach one way, kind of rotating from the toes to the head. Okay, you can breathe out. Okay, breathing in, try to do the opposite. You can open up the other way. Okay, so small motions at the beginning. You can slowly see if you can maybe reach a little further. Rotate your hips, rotate your legs a little more. Breathing out fully. Okay, breathing in. Opening the chest, maybe turning a little further behind us. Okay, let's do about 5 times per side. Okay, so breathing out, see if you can almost reach behind you a little bit more. Okay, looking where we want to go or where our fingers are pointing. Okay, breathing in. Okay, rotating through the entire body. Okay, 2 more times, breathing out. Okay, breathing in. Okay, so try and turn every part of the body. Okay, and then breathing out. Okay, and breathing in. Okay, let's relax this arm, and let's do the same thing on the other arm. Okay, so same idea, smaller motions first. Okay, so I'm not reaching as far, I'm not looking as far behind me. Okay, breathing in, same idea. Okay, when I feel comfortable, see if I can reach a little further behind. Okay, same thing as I open up. Okay, and number 3. Okay, number 4. Okay, and number 5. Okay, and let's go forward and back a little bit. So we're going to reach back. Okay, so thumbs rotating inwards. Okay, reaching back a little bit. Okay, and then breathing in. Also thumbs going the same way. So breathing in, thumbs. Okay, and once again, smaller motions first. Okay, so don't reach too far behind the beginning. If you can, slowly see if you can push your butt back a little bit more as well. So imagine reaching towards the ground behind you. Okay, breathing in. Try to see if you can raise arms up, maybe a little higher than before. Okay, but don't go into pain. Okay, so once again, think of pushing your butt back a little bit more. Maybe feel a little bit of stretch behind your hips as well. Okay, and once again, breathing in. Okay, if you feel comfortable, see if you almost lean back a little bit. Okay, and let's do 2 more times. Breathing out. Okay, and breathing in. Okay, and one last time. Breathing out. Okay, and breathing in. Okay, let's shake it out a little bit. Okay, let's bring your arms out a little bit. Okay, so let's turn one arm palm up and one palm down. Okay, and you're trying to stretch your arms out. So you're trying to reach one way here, reach other way here. Okay, but leaning over to the open side. So you're just going to switch back and forth. Okay, you're still trying to separate the fingertips. Okay, let's do about 6 times. Okay, so 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so shoulders might be a little tight by now, so let's shake it out a little bit. Okay, let's do our shoulder rolls. Okay, so let's do what usual, but this time let's alternate. So we're also rotating through the spine. Okay, so imagine you're swimming or you're doing a backstroke. Okay, and you're just trying to roll the shoulders back. Okay, but one at a time, and you're rotating. You feel a little rotation through the spine as well. Okay, and you can slowly see if you can exaggerate motions a little bit. Okay, feel free to switch direction as well. So see if you can, instead of going kind of backwards, you can go forward a little bit. Okay, and squeeze your shoulders up, squeeze your shoulders down. Okay, so more of a whole body rotation. Okay, so let's have our elbows squeezing in. Okay, see if you can push your thumbs backwards while keeping the elbows kind of into the ribs. Okay, and then coming back. Okay, so let's incorporate the spine as well. So as you come inwards, see if you can slouch a little bit, look down slightly. Okay, as you breathe in and as you push your thumbs back, see if you can bring your chest up, arch your back a little bit as well. Okay, deep breath in. Okay, and breathing out. Okay, so we're moving the shoulders, but also kind of gently moving the spine as well. Okay, so number 3, deep breath in. Okay, 4. Okay, and 5. Okay, so shaking us a little bit. Okay, let's move the elbows a little more. So let's try to straighten out the arms. Okay, pushing the palms into the floor, pulling the fingers up. Okay, and then make a fist. We try to curl our fingers or knuckles into our shoulders. Okay, so once again, try to push the palm to the floor. If you feel a little bit of a stretch in front, you can try to reach back slightly. Okay, and going up. Okay, so 3, 4. Okay, one last time. 5. Okay, and shaking everything out. Okay, so let's move the wrist a little bit. Okay, but we're gonna move the rest of the body as well. Okay, so soften your knees a little bit, so a slight bend in the knees. Okay, you're trying to paint something with the back of your hand or the leading of the wrist. Okay, so you bring arms up. Okay, leading the wrist. Okay, so you come back, also lead the wrist, so palms, fingers up, I guess, and wrist there, and you can try to sink down a little bit at the same time. Okay, so bend your knees a little bit. Once again, breathing in, standing tall. Keep breathing out. It's a soft bend knees. If you feel comfortable, you can try to steady. Kind of squat down a little bit more, okay, but not too much. Okay, and that's number 3. And number 4. Okay, but we're leading with the wrist. Okay, so you feel like you're pulling your fingers up as you go there. You're kind of pulling your fingers down as you bring the hands. Okay, and let's try sideways. Okay, so you're just going to once again lead the wrist. So you're going to push the wrist out as you go out as far as you feel comfortable. As you come back in, try to get your fingers or the inside of your wrist a little closer together. Okay, and once again, let's incorporate the lower body a little bit. Okay, so as you come back in, see if you can sink down a little bit into a kind of a mini squat. Okay, as you go out, also try to open up, stand tall. Okay, so let's call this number 3 coming in. Okay, so looking for the side, I'm just sinking down slightly. Okay, breathing in. I'm opening up, standing tall. Okay, one last time, breathing out. Okay, and then breathing in. Okay, and shaking it out. Okay, so just kind of move your fingers a little bit. Okay, and let's make it a little harder today. So let's make an L shape with our fingers. Okay, and then make it almost like a sideways C, I guess. Okay, and then rolling the fingers back. So maybe a little closer. Make an L sideways, upside down L. Okay, and then make it almost like a C, and then rolling the fingers back out. Okay, so it's a little bit of a kind of like a wave. Okay, and see if you can do the opposite. See if you can make a claw shape first, close the fist. Okay, and then kind of opening the hand up again. Okay, it might be easier if you have a mirror in front of you. If you just look at your own fingers. Okay, and then maybe side to side a few times. Okay, so let's move the wrist. Okay, so, sorry, the waist, I mean. Okay, so let's do our usual kind of circle. Once again, try to relax the lower upper body a little bit. Okay, so there's a little bit of a side bend. Okay, let's make it a little harder today. See if we can have our arms up a little bit and still rotate. Feel free to switch direction anytime. Okay, if you can do it, see if you can have your arms up a little bit. Okay, so you can do the same exercise, but just kind of change it up a little bit. And you might find it kind of moves different areas a little bit more, maybe. Okay, and come back down. Okay, so for this one, probably easier if you do have a chair or something to hold on to. So I'm going to have a wall on one side and maybe the chair in front of me. Or you can move it to whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay, so this is the lunge to the kind of reach. Okay, so one leg forward, one leg back. Okay, once again, imagine your pelvis like a bowl of water. So you want that bowl of water to be leveled. Okay, so this will be pouring water out the front. So you can see my pelvis start tilting kind of forward. Okay, I don't want to be here like this either, where I kind of tilting backwards. Okay, just kind of leveled. Okay, so you're going to push your pelvis forward while maintaining this level, okay, and while reaching up. So my right leg is back, and I'm reaching up with my right arm. Okay, so I'm trying to kind of breathe in, hips forward, reaching up at the same time. Okay, breathing out, coming back down. Okay, so let's do about 5 times. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and let's switch which leg is back. Okay, so this time my left leg is back. Okay, first thing, I'm leveling my pelvis first. Okay, so my left leg is back, so I'm going to move my left arm this time. Okay, so once again, keep that pelvis leveled, push it forward a little bit, reaching up at the same time. Okay, so 1, 2, okay, try to keep the back leg kind of straight. 3, 4, 5. Okay, and sticking back up. Okay, let's go sideways, almost like a sideways lunge. So a lunge is anytime one leg is kind of bent, one leg is straight. Okay, so legs kind of wider than your shoulders. Okay, you're going to push the butt back, okay, but also pushing off to one side. Okay, so I'm just going to go back and forth a little bit first. Okay, so pushing back, so it might be easier if you have a chair holding on. But once again, I'm pushing my butt back, and I'm leaning forward as I go side to side. Okay, so let's add a little bit of rotation. So this time, legs not as wide, okay, but once again, that tall posture, that wider shoulders, okay, arms straight out to the side. Okay, see if you can rotate your body. So we kind of move into the hips a little bit more. Okay, it's the standing leg that's kind of rotating more actually. Okay, so once again, opening up, deep breath in. Okay, breathing out, you can try to reach opposite hand. Feel free to rotate your legs as well, so you can see my back leg turning towards where my fingers are. Okay, so let's hold this 3. Breathing in. Okay, breathing out. 3. Okay, 2 more times per side. 4. 4. Okay, last one. 5. Okay, and 5. Okay, so you probably feel maybe a little bit more movement through the hips. Okay, maybe a little bit through the spine as well, but hopefully you can kind of turn your foot a little bit so you can feel this rotation a little bit here. Okay, so let's exaggerate this a little bit more. So instead of taking us to rotating, we're gonna take a step. Exact same thing. You're gonna take a step out, maybe slightly backwards, and you're gonna opening up and try to reach behind you almost. Okay, and then coming back to center. Okay, so you come back to center, you can once again go into that mini squat. So slight bend the knees, hips backwards a little bit. Okay, so you're not pushing your knees forward so much. Your knees roughly over your foot, okay, and your hips are back. Okay, so every time we come back, we're going to go into this mini squat position. Okay, but as you stand back up, you're going to take a step kind of out to one side, kind of try to point your toe a little bit towards the back. Okay, so you're opening the hip on that side. Okay, and then once again, coming back, mini squat. Okay, and then one. Okay, back to that mini squat. Okay, two. Okay, try to open the chest as well. Okay, and then two. Okay, you can even shift your weight a little bit towards that leg. Okay, coming back to the middle. Okay, three. Okay, mini squat. Three. Four. Four. Okay, so kind of pay attention where your toes are pointing. So you can point a little bit further back. Okay, last one on both sides. Five. Oops, I should come squat again. Five. Okay, coming back up. Okay, so we've done a couple of mini squats. Let's try to go in a deeper squat now. Okay, so feet a little wider than your hips. Okay, could be about shoulder width. Toes pointing out slightly. You can have a chair behind you, a chair in front of you, whatever you need. Okay, so arms can be in front for balance. Okay, and you're just going to push your butt back at the same time that you're bending your knees a little bit. Okay, so you're sitting on a tall bar stool. Okay, and then coming back up, so you can open the chest up, standing taller, wider for the shoulders at the same time. Okay, so okay, two. Opening back up, standing tall. Okay, three. If you feel comfortable, you can try to go down a little bit more than before. Okay, last two. Four. Okay, last one. Five. Okay, and shaking back out. Okay, let's move the knees. Okay, just our usual kind of bending and extending the knees a little bit. Okay, relax what you don't need to use. Okay, and then the ankles, let's do a little bit of a weight shift front and back. It might be better if you have a wall behind you. Okay, but you're pushing your weight onto your toes and then getting your weight over your heels. Okay, slowly see if you can lift your heels a little bit. If when you want to lift your toes, lean forward so you're not falling back. Have a chair in front of you if you want. But just go back and forth. Okay, and then side to side. Okay, try to lift up the same side edge of both feet. Okay, and lastly, let's check our balance. So standing kind of roughly on one leg, hold on to as much support as you need. Okay, and see if you can just rotate the other foot. Okay, once again, try to draw, don't try to go fast, try to draw a bigger circle. Okay, same idea on the other leg. Okay, lastly, your toes, just kind of play around your toes, wiggle in any fashion you can. Okay, just explore, see how you can move your toes. You try almost even lift your toes one at a time. Okay, and then shake everything out. Okay, so let's check the time. That was actually a little bit longer warm up. So let's go into aerobic component now. Okay, so we're still trying to go 10 minutes, about 10 minutes, where we get a heart rate a little bit faster. Okay, so start off, just go at your pace that you feel comfortable. As you go warm up a little more even, try to see if you can get your heart rate up a little bit, be slightly out of breath. Okay, so let's try this first minute. Let's try to slowly ramp up our speed. Okay, but let's still check our posture as usual. So we still don't want to be slouching, so still think of chest up, shoulders a little wider, okay, but still relaxed enough that we can move our arms. This should be leaving a slight rotation through your shoulders even. Okay, not too much, so this is kind of exaggerated, but you should be able to do so. Okay, so let's try to go a little bit faster. Okay, but maintaining that tall posture. Okay, so let's increase the speed of leaving a little more. Okay, so let's remember what we did in the kind of warm up almost, so that the rotation thing we had. Okay, so let's keep it simple first. Let's just kind of rotate side to side in place. Okay, so you can keep looking forward, but we're just marching in place as we rotate around. Okay, so let's go side to side. Okay, just keeping our pace up. Okay, so always ask yourself, how hard is it for me right now? Okay, a little harder. Let's try to march in place with the feet a little wider apart. Okay, let's do the exact same thing. Can we still rotate with our legs a little wider apart? Okay, and feel free to look wherever you want. It's just sometimes looking forward might be less dizzying for some people. Okay, can we have the feet apart while moving side to side a little bit? Okay, let's back to center for the time being, just to give our leg a little rest. Okay, so let's try to separate legs a little bit, but this time kind of diagonally apart. So one leg forward, one leg back a little bit. See if you can still march. Okay, coming back to center. Okay, this time my left leg is going slightly diagonally forward. My right leg is diagonally back, I guess. Okay, and coming back. Okay, and we just switch a couple of times. Okay, so I'm just winding my feet kind of diagonally, and then just switching it back and forth. Okay, but always coming back to center a little bit. Okay, so let's switch out the pattern a little bit. Okay, so we're in march, we're step out, come back. So kind of the warm up where we take a step out, and then we're add a marching in between. Okay, so we'll be marching and then open, and then back to center into the march again. Okay, so whenever you're ready, open up, and then back to the marching. Okay, so 1, 2. Okay, you can go at your own pace. Go faster, slower. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now let's move our hands a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to reach side to side, maybe a little bit slower first. Okay, and then later we're going to be stopping our feet, and we're just going to be moving the arms a little bit more. Okay, so when they have our feet a little wider, okay, but this time we're just going to move our hands a little more, but anchoring our feet down a little bit. Okay, so we're just going to do the exact same thing as before. We're going to, when we start marching, we're going to be doing this. Okay, whenever we're ready, we're going to open up 1, and then we're going to go back to this pattern. Okay, and whenever you're ready, 2. Okay, and then back to the kind of reaching or punching. You can go faster or slow, up to you. Okay, and 3. Okay, so whenever you're ready, 4. And back to the punching or reaching, 5. Okay, 6. Okay, 7. Okay, and 8. Okay, last 2. Okay, 9. Okay, and 10. Okay, and let's go back to the marching. Okay, catch your breath anytime you like, so you can always slow down. Just don't stop completely, but just kind of keep moving your feet in some ways, keep moving your arms in some ways. That's good enough already. Okay, so same idea. Okay, so we're going to be the arms and legs, kind of punching forward, marching at the same time. Okay, but this time I'm going to be reaching forward and taking a step forward in between. Okay, so we'll be kind of punching and marching, and then whenever you're ready, reach, and then come back into this march. Okay, step forward, and forward, 2. Okay, 3. And don't worry about which hand, which leg it is. Just kind of play around and slow. See what feels natural to you. See if you can switch. I think that's 5. Okay, and 6. Okay, and 7. 8. Okay, if your knees bother you, take a smaller step. 9. Okay, and 10. Okay, so next one, we're going to stopping our feet again. We're just moving arms. Okay, we're going to have 2 patterns. One is that you could just reach inside the side. The other pattern is you're going to rotate it and reach towards the opposite side. Okay, I'm going to switch between the 2. Okay, so I'll be kind of switching back and forth a little bit first. You feel your weight shifting between left and right leg. Okay, whenever you're ready, switch. So you're rotating a little more. Okay, and you can turn your feet to swap. Okay, and then switch again. Okay, so you're reaching towards the same side. Okay, so once again, we coordinate the brain and body, see if we can switch. Okay, switching between 2 patterns. Okay, now this time, let's go high to low, but reaching side to side. Okay, so we're switching high to low. Okay, switch where we rotate, but still high to low. Okay, how high and how low is up to you. Okay, you can switch where direction is low, which direction is high. Okay, switch. Okay, so high to low. Okay, reaching towards the same side. Okay, so the same size, your arms as moving. Okay, switch where we rotate. Okay, but still reaching high to low. If it makes you dizzy, don't go too high or too low. Okay, so we have about 1 minute and a half left. Okay, and then back to the center, marching, relaxing the arms a little bit. Okay, so we continue this pattern. Okay, so last one might be a little bit more, makes you a little more out of breath. We go into mini squat and then reaching up at the same time. Okay, so I'll be marching whenever you're ready. Reach back and then reach up. So 1, okay, and then back to the marching. Okay, so from the side angle, you can kind of reaching back a little bit, squatting down a tall chair, reaching up a little bit, going up on your toes a little bit if you want. Okay, and then back to the marching. Okay, so it's almost like a jump, almost. Except you're not really leaving the ground, you're just going up on your toes. Okay, so 3. Okay, 4. Okay, and just marching in between whenever you're ready, or you can go at my count, 5. Okay, marching in between. 6. 7. Okay, once again, adjust how far you're going depending on how we feel. 8. Okay, last 2. 9. Okay, last one, and then we'll be pretty much done in 10 minutes. And 10. Okay, so we will not just stop abruptly. So slowly ramp down. Okay, so slowing down your pace, slowing down how fast your arms and legs are moving, how far they're moving. Okay, kind of see what kind of breathing you're using. So am I breathing into the chest? So usually without your breath, we tend to breathe in the shoulders a little more. See if we can breathe more into the stomach now. So we're using our breath to tell our body to kind of slow back down a little bit, relax a little more. Okay, so belly breathing is more as a signal to say, okay, we need to relax now. Whenever you breathe in the shoulders, that's when your body tends to be a little more tense. Okay, so pay attention to where you're breathing from and see if you can direct it more to our belly as we slow down even more. Okay, you can always keep pumping your heels or pumping your calves to help continue circulating the blood as our blood pressure kind of adjusts. And do a body scan, see where you still tense. Okay, so be tense when we need to be tense when we're working, we relax when we don't need to be. Okay, so let's check the time right now. So about 11:43. Okay, let's take a 2-minute break and we'll do a quick strengthening today. So we did a longer warm-up, maybe about the same as aerobic, but let's take a 2-minute break. Remember to drink in the water. If you still feel out of breath, continue moving a little bit. We'll be using our bands today. So if you can grab that, that would be great. Okay, so today for the lower body, we'll be doing almost a basic sit to stand. So we go from sitting position to standing position, okay, but we're going to use the band to help us get into a better kind of posture or at least alignment of the body. Okay, so you're going to have the band, have your feet together, knees together, tie a loop around it. Okay, and you're going to actually tie it up. Okay, so it doesn't have to be too tight, just make sure it's secured. Okay, and when you're done with that, you're going to have your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Okay, and once again, you don't want to be slouching, so sitting a little bit taller first. Okay, feet underneath your knees. Okay, so what you're going to be doing is that you will be setting up pretty much. Okay, but while you're doing that, you're going to push out on your knees. Okay, so your knee or push on the band. So your knees should be always over your feet. So don't let the band pull you in. So you can push your knees out, okay, until they're roughly over maybe the second toe or the middle of the foot. Okay, and you'll be keeping this position of the knees while you're standing up and down. Okay, so if you're going to lean back, you won't be to stand up. So you want to have your feet underneath you, and you'll be you can try rocking forward if you have trouble getting up, or you can have a chair in front of you just to give a little bit of a push of the hands. Okay, so whatever you need to do this. Okay, so you're going to be rocking forward. Let's rock forward and back a few times. Okay, while keeping the knees over the feet. Okay, whenever you're ready, you're going to rock forward. Once your weight get over your foot or your feet, you're going to stand up. Okay, and as you come back down, still pushing knees out, and then sitting back down. Okay, so this will be one. Here is again, rock forward, push up, while keeping the knees over your toes. Okay, and then once again, go back, and then rock back. Okay, so let's do about 10 times. Okay, 3. Okay, keep pushing those knees out. 4. It's just feel maybe hips are getting a little tight, your thighs getting a little tight, maybe, or at least a little sore, maybe. 5. Okay, but keep those knees out. 6. The hands can be further ahead, more towards you, whatever you need to stay balanced. 7. 8. Okay, it's also a good way to engage our hip muscles to help us stand up and down. 9. Usually a lot of people rely just on their thighs, but we also want to be using hips as well. Okay, and okay, so don't hide the band. We're going to do the same, use the same loop for our arms. Okay, so you can kind of slide out. Okay, and so I still have a kind of a loop going on. Okay, so for the arms, you can do it standing up. You can do it sitting down, up to you. Okay, but actually, let me take off my watch so it doesn't get caught. Okay, so you're gonna have the hands kind of inside the loop. So that's why I just don't untie it. Okay, but if you don't, that's okay. If you don't have a loop, you can just kind of grab the band and hold it at the same time. That also works. Okay, but we're just going to be pushing apart a little bit. Okay, so it's kind of like the knees to keep it pull against the band. Okay, but you're just going to rotate the hands, almost like a driving wheel. Okay, but you're always pushing against the band. Okay, so you feel the shoulders working. Okay, so let's do kind of 10 per direction. So we'll call this number 2, 2. Okay, so if you don't have a band, this might not feel like much. You can just think of, you can do a bigger motion if you want. Okay, so this will be 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. So this can be actually kind of tiring because we're not actually letting the muscles relax too much. So it's not working extremely hard. Okay, but it's constantly working, and that's where this kind of sore feeling, a little bit of burning feeling almost, where that comes from. Okay, so 10, 10. Okay, because as your kind of muscle contract, usually it gets kind of white because you're not letting the blood go in and out as easily. So kind of the waste matter from the muscles working kind of gets trapped inside, and that the lactic acid, for example, that's when you get more of a burning feeling when you do these sets where you're not letting the muscles relax as much. Okay, so I don't think we have as much time, so let's repeat these two first, and then we'll do one set of balance afterwards. Okay, so let's go back to the lower body. It's the same idea. If you have a band, kind of loop it about just above the height of the knee, so not over the kneecap, close to your hips. Okay, and you're starting off, still your feet and your knees a little bit wider than your hips. Okay, and you want to be pushing against the band so that your knees are over the second toe or the third toe, roughly in that area, as you stand up and down. Okay, so I'm going to go into a side angle a little bit more. Okay, so once again, you can kind of rock back and forth to help you set up and down. If your feet is too far forward, that's going to make it more difficult. So have your feet a little closer to you, to the chair. Okay, but whenever you're ready, kind of rock back and forth. That's when you're ready. Rock forward and up. Okay, go back down while pushing knees out. Make sure the chair is behind you. 2. Okay, and always hold onto the chair in front as well. That makes you feel more comfortable. 4. Okay, but keep those knees out. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Okay, one last time. And 10. And same as last time, we're just going to get the band, the loop off. Once again, you can hold onto the band or you can have a loop. You can also do it standing up or sitting down. Maybe catch a breath first. Whenever you're ready, we're going to do that driving wheel thing. Okay, but this time holding in the punch a little bit. Okay, you can have your arms out. That'll make it a little harder. So 1, 1, 2. Okay, still pushing against the band. 2, 3, 3. Okay, feel free to kind of relax at any point. 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9. Okay, last 2, 10, and 10. Okay, so once again, that could be, might feel a little more on the shoulders. Okay, so let's, I think we set time. Okay, so let's go into a little bit of weight shifting for a balance exercise. Okay, so my knees safer if you have chairs kind of all around you, maybe a wall behind you as well. Okay, so we're gonna just go into kind of weight shifting exercise today. I'm going to be turning sideways, but once again, just imagine that chairs around me for balance. So we're going to be still kind of standing on one foot a little bit more first, because once again, standing on one foot doesn't mean leg all the way up. It means just you have your toes tapping on the floor, and holding on a chair. Okay, so our weight is on mostly on one leg, so the back leg. Okay, when we're working on shifting it front to back. Okay, so when you take a step forward, okay, and then as you shift forward, so you can put almost all your weight onto the other leg. Okay, balance for a second. Okay, and you're just going to be shifting back and forth, almost like a Tai Chi stance where you have a kind of stand on one leg and your toes touching a little bit. Okay, take a step forward and try to shift your weight completely or almost completely onto this leg. So my back leg is a little bit off the floor, touching the floor. Okay, and then stepping back. Okay, and let's incorporate arms a little bit. See if you can push forward almost. Feel the weight going onto the front leg. Okay, maybe kind of 60-40 at least, so 60% weight on the front leg, 40% on the back leg. If you can, see if you can get more onto the front leg, so maybe 80-20 or even 100%. Okay, and as you come back, see if you can just kind of put the weight onto the back leg a little more. Okay, so once again, weight shift forward. Okay, shift the weight forward. As you come back, see if you can get the weight onto the back leg more. Okay, so let's do about, I think we probably done 5 already, so let's do 10. So let's call it number 7. Okay, come back, don't worry about the hands. I'm not didn't really study Tai Chi either, but this is just a weight shifting. Kind of 8. Okay, and then coming back. Okay, and 9. Okay, and last one, 10. Okay, but you're paying attention to what your hands, where your weight is in relation to your legs. Okay, so even if you're without arms, that's completely okay. Just feel the weight shifting over that front leg and shift your body weight coming forward, and then same thing on the way back. Okay, so let's switch whatever leg was forward and whichever leg was back. Okay, so you're stepping forward at the other leg. Okay, so I'm going to be facing this way this time. Okay, but I'm standing on my other leg to start with. Okay, I'm going to take a step out, okay, and I'm just going to kind of shift my entire weight forward, including my arms. I can feel my weight going over the front leg. My back leg is kind of unweighted almost, so you can lift it up, meaning, okay, and then coming back, okay, unweight the front leg. So if you can lift it up, if you can tap it, that's how you know your weight has shifted away from that foot. Okay, so once again, step forward, shift that weight forward, shifting your arms forward, including, okay, so 2, okay, and then coming back. Okay, once again, I'm not any Tai Chi teacher, okay, but I'm mostly just concerned about your weight shifting forward, okay, and shifting back. So you can do whatever you want. You can open up. Okay, so I think let's say we're at 5. Okay, and then once again, shifting backwards. So once again, you should be able to tap your toes in the front leg or lift it completely. 6. 7. 8. 9. Okay, last one. 10. And back. Okay, so one reason why Tai Chi is good for balance is that they do a lot of these almost what we call weight shifting. They might have other nuances and other benefits as well. Okay, but from the balance perspective, they do a lot of weight shifting, even if they're not like something like side to side. You still shift when to shift the weight from side to side. That's part of learning to control our balance. Okay, so we have 2 minutes. So let's do a basic stretch. Okay, so start on the shoulders. Okay, so let's do the basic stretch where your right arm reaching over to the left, other arm reaching kind of underneath, and you're pulling your arm into your chest or pulling your elbow pin into the opposite shoulders. Okay, deep breath in and out. Okay, same thing. There's my left arm reaching over to my right. Okay, reach underneath, pulling the arm into the chest. Okay, let's do the hips. Still our usual stretch. Sitting on the chair. One ankle over the other, hugging the knee. Okay, you're pulling your knee kind of into your chest, feeling a stretch in the side of your bum. Okay, and the same thing on the opposite side. Okay, very last one, just the top of the shoulders. Okay, one arm down, holding on the bottom of the chair. Lean away from that side. Okay, separate the shoulders from the ears. Free arm. Going to apply a little bit of a pull. Okay, until you feel a stretch on the side of the neck, couple of shoulders. Deep breaths in and out. Okay, coming back whenever you're ready. Whenever you feel comfortable, then do the same thing on the opposite side. Okay, very last one. Hands together. Just do a little bit of a wrist stretch. So you have palms together and just do what we call prayer stretch. Okay, so just stretch inside your hands, your fingers. Okay, shake everything out. And good job, everyone. So I think I made it on time today. So thank you for coming. Thank you for working hard. See everyone next time. Bye bye.